You're going to have to deal with that pesky 10% penalty for withdrawing money from those types of accounts.
Lightning strikes and then you're gonna know my name.
Okay, so here's a situation for you. Let's say you want to retire before age 59 and a half, but you will need to pull money from your IRA or 401k or other retirement account to do that, all right? Well, if you do that, you're going to have to deal with that pesky 10% penalty for withdrawing money from those types of accounts. So, look, a lot of folks come to me in my practice with this very situation, and they want to know, hey, is there a way around avoiding that 10% penalty for withdrawing money from your IRA before age 59 and a half? And guess what? There is. The IRS will allow you to withdraw money from these type of accounts without incurring a 10% penalty under what is called Section 72T that pertains to retirement accounts. Now, this 72T, this is more commonly referred to as the 72T rule. Now, you will still have to pay taxes on the amount withdrawn, but if you utilize the 72T rule, you would avoid the 10% penalty. Now, I don't want to confuse this with a rule of 55, and that pertains to only 401ks. And I tell you what, I'll leave a link to that video right up here that explains that rule. We're going to talk about the 72T rule, and that 72T rule applies to both IRAs and 401ks or other employer-sponsored plans. Here's how it works. In order to withdraw money from your IRA or 401k or other retirement accounts without incurring that 10% penalty, you must withdraw money in what is called substantially equal periodic payments over 5 years or until you reach age 59 and a half, whichever comes later. So let's be clear. If you use this strategy and you start at age 50, let's say, then you must adhere to those payments until age 59 and a half. Now, conversely, for example, let's say you start this at age 68, then you must adhere to those payments until age 63. Again, it's 5 years or 59 and a half, whichever is later. So once you get on that train, you must ride it until it comes to a stop, or else that 10% penalty would come into play. Now, how is the substantially equal periodic payment calculated? I mean, is it just made up out of thin air? Well, no. There are 3 methods you can use to determine the periodic payment, and they are the required minimum distribution, or RMD method, the amortization method, and the annuitization method. All 3 use a life expectancy table, and that's put out by the IRS. Also, you would choose an interest rate to calculate the payment, and that rate cannot be greater than 5% or 120% of the federal midterm rate. Now, I know this is getting confusing, but the federal midterm rate, that changes pretty much every month. So, for example, at the time of this video, the federal midterm rate is 4.19%, and 120% of that would be 5.04%. Look, I know this can be confusing, so to make it a little easier, there are 72T calculators online that can help. So let's take a look at one. For example, here's one from bankrate.com. So let's say you have $500,000 in your IRA and you want to use the maximum interest rate, which at the time of this video is 5.04%, and you are, say, 52 years old. Then the maximum amount calculated would be $31,670 per year. Now, down here, you will notice that both the amortization and annuitization method, hey, they're pretty similar, but that RMD method, hey, that's much lower. And that's because interest rates are so high right now. Let's look at another one. What if you were 55 years old? Then that amount would change to $32,868 per year. Again, it is based on life expectancy tables, so by using the 72T rule with substantially equal periodic payments, you can avoid the 10% early withdrawal penalty. Now, this can be helpful for those who want, to retire early, and they're going to need the funds from their IRA or 401k, to supplement income. But there are a few things to consider here. So while it does avoid the 10% penalty, it does not avoid taxes. You will still pay taxes on the amount you withdraw, and that's based on your ordinary income tax rate. Another thing, you can still remain invested in the account, so it's not frozen. You can, buy and sell within that IRA or 401k, just like you were before. Hey, you cannot use the 72T rule with a 401k if you're still employed under that plan. What if you have multiple accounts? You can just choose one. It does not have to apply to all of your retirement accounts unless you choose to do so. And since you cannot change the distribution you will be receiving, listen, you should take great caution before implementing this strategy. So, talk with your tax advisor, your financial advisor. Make sure it makes sense based on your individual circumstance. Hopefully you have found value in this video. If so, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we're going to see you next time.
A champion don't need any introductions. A fighter don't know any limitations.